Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to E20102. We are, here's today is the first day of the fall quarter for most of you, unless you took like a lab class or a different class yesterday. First things first, my name is Hiren Trada. I'm your professor, instructor for this course. Originally, I was scheduled to teach at a different time, but then they had me switch to a different class and then moved my afternoon 201 to the morning one. Anyway, so I'm going to do a few things today, go over the syllabus, introduce the course, the layout, the assignments, the grading. I was teaching all through summer, and so I'm still getting caught up on summer exams for students who are not in slow. So it's been pretty nonstop. And then I'm also in the middle of a big move right now. And so I can't even find my toothbrush. It's one of the 250 boxes, and so I had to run out and get some. Anyway, so again, my name is pronounced Hiren Trada. My email is htrada@calpoly.edu. You'll be receiving emails from me, via the class listserv, or if you send me any email with questions. I'm very easy to find. And again, it's all everything's available on the website. So the class is going to be structured a little differently than probably what you're used to. It's based on active learning, which is where students participate in class and we do actual problem solving in the classroom. And so you can get your questions answered in real time. Okay, so we'll meet every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday in this classroom. You can also attend online, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to the Canvas website. Okay, this classroom, or this room, actually used to be a research space. My office was in the corner right there, which it's hard to believe right now. It's all research cubicles in this entire room. So last summer, Cal Poly has a new school of computing, comprised of the departments of electrical engineering, computer science, software engineering, and computer engineering. And they have spent upwards of $250,000 to refurbish this entire classroom. So last fall was the first time this classroom was in use. Fall quarter was fine. I was teaching in here. Winter quarter and spring, I was not. I came back to just take a look in spring, like in March. Big stains on the carpet. There's like coffee spills. There's a drink spill over there. And so facilities and the administration are implementing strict rules. Absolutely no food and drink inside the classroom. The only drink I will permit is water. And even that must have a hard cap. So either a metal bottle or your plastic bottle that is with a screw-on lid. Absolutely no drink of any other kind, whether it's in a hard bottle or a hard cup, nothing like that. Leave it outside the classroom on the floor. I used to do that when I was a student. I still do it. If I have a drink with a soft lid on it, I leave it outside the classroom. So please help us maintain the room, because we are not the only ones in here. It's a shared facility, and everyone, coming after us also deserves to have a clean space and environment to learn in. Okay. So again, absolutely no food or drink in the classroom. Leave it outside. You can feel free to walk in and out of my room as many times as you want. It doesn't offend me. It doesn't bother me. Okay. The restroom is right across that door. It's an all-gender restroom. So if you need to, walk up and go outside, feel free to do so. Again, you don't need to ask my permission to walk in and out. You can come in anytime you want. You can leave anytime you want. All right. Okay, let's get to the Canvas website. So here we are. That is the front page. Okay. The front page, if you view on a mobile device, it has sections and modules. So it does not directly open up to the front page. Hence, my suggestion that if you're viewing it for the first time, view it on a desktop or a laptop, because it directly opens up the front page. So this is probably something that you are not familiar with. Most instructors do not set up their Canvas pages like this. They simply add modules and are done with it. Mine is laid out like a website. Okay, so this class is offered in person. You can also log on to Zoom and attend, or you can watch the recorded videos, or you can do neither of those, any of those three things. You can just work by yourself, which is absolutely fine with me. Okay, as long as you submit the work that is set in front of you, on your points and you learn, that's all I care about. Okay. I don't care about attendance. I don't care about anything else. As long as you're learning and you show that you're learning, that's all that I need. All right. So let's get into syllabus. So from the front page, there are some handy links. The syllabus link is duplicated on the left. In the left pane, we have standard Canvas links. I cannot modify those links. I can only change view access to some of those links. So the syllabus link is the same one as we have on the left pane. Okay. And so let's open up the syllabus. Instructor reserves the right to alter, modify, change any aspect of the syllabus and the course as deemed necessary at any time during the quarter. One thing that has happened to syllabi over the years is that more and more they're becoming more and more bloated. And they read like a legal document that you say, okay, 15-page document, do you accept our terms and conditions? And then you check mark and you go forward, right? Well, for better or for worse, one of the reasons this happens is because there's always some students who find some loophole somewhere in our classes. If it's not stated in the syllabus early on, it sometimes is very difficult for us to enforce those rules because then it comes to a conflict. And so we need to ensure that all bases are covered and most of the primary points are in there. Okay. Having said that, I will go over the primary points in the classroom right now, and then I will point out which area students need to read by themselves. Typically, this note at the top may or may not be posted, but it is generally accepted that if need be, an instructor can change some aspects, not major aspects, but some aspects of the syllabus and the course structure. For instance, we might have like 9 or 10 quizzes scheduled instead of 9 or 10. If time is constrained due to any reason whatsoever, you might switch to like 8 quizzes. Or if you have 8 assignments scheduled, you might bump it up to 9. So that kind of change, okay? Not like a wholesale category change, but like minor changes. So whether it's stated or not, instructor does reserve the right to change, any instructor, anywhere for that matter, okay? All right, we meet here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11. I have a few blurbs about myself, communication and office hours. Actually, let's go take it in order and let's go there. So communication, htrada@calpoly.edu. I'm very easy to find. I'm easy to find. My office is in this building. It's in the middle wing. This building is in the shape of an E. So we are at either the top or the bottom prong, the bottom wing, and there's a middle wing. My office is a shared office space in room 117. And I'm easy to find. I'm here every single day, pretty much from 8 to 5. Okay. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. Not a millennial or a Gen X or Gen Z or whatever, but I still have my smartphone tied to my hip at all times. And I'm usually working till like 11:30 or midnight every single day. The chances are, if you send me an email around midnight, if I'm up, you may receive a response. All right. 2 things about email. Try to avoid using your personal email IDs. One thing is, you're going to spend just a few years of your life here at the institution. So you do not want emails from today clogging up your inbox 10 years from now. Trust me, I've been there. Instead of using my institutional ID, I use my personal Gmail address, and I have all those emails clogging up my inbox. So 10 years from now, you might have hundreds of thousands of emails related to Cal Poly, which you won't even care about. So use your Cal Poly email ID as much as possible. That's just a personal reason. A second, more important reason is we cannot divulge personal information about any student to non-verified email address. When this rule is kind of like loose and fast, everybody does not enforce it. But let's say if somebody wants to spoof my email address, say hiren.trada@yahoo.com or hiren.trada71894@gmail.com, and just says my name, Hiren, first name Hiren, last name Trada, sends you an email. Hey, no class today, no exam, no quiz today. Stay at home. Anybody can spoof my email and send you an email like that, right? And you might miss out on somebody just messing with you, and it might happen. So the reverse is also true. Somebody could spoof your name, send us an email asking personal information about you. Like, what's my current grade in the class? Or how much did I earn here? Right? Might say, I didn't show up to the quiz. I don't care about it. Just drop it. Drop my grade. So we don't want to divulge personal information about you to non-verified email address. So use your Cal Poly email ID as much as possible when you're communicating with any faculty, any staff with regards to Cal Poly. Okay. Another reason is sometimes some keywords in your personal email addresses might trigger the spam filters. So even if you have used your personal email in the past successfully, chances are some keyword might trigger a spam filter and get sent to our spam folder. So you don't want that to happen. Okay. Your Cal Poly email address is verified and officially tied to you, your account. And so use that as much as possible. My office, again, is in 117. Feel free to stop by anytime you want. Office hours and my schedule will be available here at the bottom. I have not yet finalized my office hours. More likely, it's going to be right after this class from 11 to 12 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. But I haven't yet finalized them. So I will finalize them and I'll post them here. So my schedule, my entire schedule and my location at all times will be available here on this page. All right, course information. This course information comes straight from your departments. Okay. These are the skills that your department deems as necessary for their students to learn before they graduate. Okay, this is not us. This is not designed by us. This is designed in consultation from all of your departments coming together. They tell us what we need to teach you. All right. So all of this is ABET accredited by the ABET Board of Accreditation. Garbling my words. And so the course goals and learning outcomes are set in there. This is not something that I came up with. I do not have the power or the authority to change these. Okay. So we learn about DC circuits. We learn about AC circuits. We will learn about RLRC, meaning resistors, inductors, and capacitive circuits. And then we'll learn about DC power and energy and AC power and energy. Okay. And then frequency response of these circuits. Topics that are covered are listed here, all the way down to the bottom. By the way, you should understand this class for non-EE majors is universal. So when I was a grad student at Louisville, that's where I went to grad school. As a grad student, I did teach this class. So I have several years of experience teaching this kind of classes to non-EE majors. And it's pretty universal. Even the books that we use are pretty much the same. Okay. So no matter where you go, anywhere in the world for that matter, all non-EE majors do learn these topics. And these topics that you're learning in 1 quarter, it's slightly less than what students learn in 1 semester. So these are the topics that EE major students take over 1 entire academic year, where we will be snorkeling on the surface. EE students go scuba diving inside the surface, so to speak. Okay. But what you're learning is highly compressed. You're skimming the surface and learning the fundamentals. All right, course description. And we are going to learn first half is DC circuit analysis. Second half, we will apply these analysis techniques to AC circuits or AC power. First day of the class is today. Last day is Friday, December 12th. Fall quarter, we have a couple of extra days. So we have 11 Thursdays, we have 11 Fridays. And we do not lose a Monday. So Tuesday is a holiday in November 11th, but it just drops off 1 Tuesday. That's it. So we don't lose any days. In fact, we have 1 extra day. We have 31 days in this fall quarter, which is really good. My courses are usually structured, not usually, my courses are structured with UDL learning principles. UDL stands for Universal Design for Learning. Simply stated, it means applying a wide range of tools or employing a wide range of tools and technologies to benefit or maximize wide and diverse range of student learning styles. Okay. So one of the things I do is, I have the setup here. In the setup, I have an extended, I have a writing tablet here, and this is duplicated what you see on the projector screen. And then I log on to Zoom at the same time, and what you see on the projector is shared on Zoom, which is also recorded. So you students can attend class on Zoom if they wish, and they can also view the recorded videos later on as they wish. Okay, so students can have 3 or multiple options. You do not need to let me know. You can switch anytime you want. Okay. Typically, I have students come on the first day of class, and then I never see them again until the day of the final exam, which is fine with me. Okay. Quizzes are in person, so you would have to come into the classroom for the quizzes, but everything else can be accomplished online. Class Notebook is implemented via Microsoft's OneNote. It's a great software tool if you have never used it before. Specifically for us, it's integrated into Canvas. So there is a feature in there that is implemented in the Class Notebook where I can annotate and write on here. You can view it on the projector. It also appears automatically at your end in the notebook. So all the students are automatically added. If you open up OneNote from your SharePoint directories, you should be able to open up. You can use it on any device, either a laptop or a phone or a tablet, irrespective of the platform, whether it's Apple or Android or Microsoft, Windows, doesn't really matter. It's available on every single platform. Okay. You can also open it up in a web browser. So you can use a Chromebook and open it up in a web browser. All right, lecture videos are recorded and posted online, and all videos have English language captions. All right, access code purchase. So when I was a student and I heard about this, the first thing was like, why am I paying more money, just to pay for my own, I'm already paying so much. Why do I need to pay more to access? Okay. Tuition, and the reality is the tuition and fees do not cover everything. That's the unfortunate reality. We wish it could, but it doesn't. CSU does like to tout that we have low-cost options available. There are indeed low-cost options available, but over several years, based on student feedback and student learning experiences, I have discovered that using this structure and this format is maximize student learning to student benefit. Now, I'm not one of those who makes students buy something for like $150 and then keeps it as part of 10% of your grade. This is a low-cost option. It's $52. It's an online access code for Pearson's Mastering Engineering Homework System. And the homework assignments that we do here maximize the student learning. This is not something that I can implement using free resources or alternative resources. And so there's careful thought has been, has gone behind this decision. So there are there are tutorials, there are videos, there are assignments that students will perform, and all of this will count towards a massive and generous 35% of your overall grade. So let me bring that up. Okay, so homework put together is going to count for 35%. I'll explain the breakdown in just a little bit. So it doesn't, when you spend the money, I make sure my students get the money's worth. Okay. So the homework that uses the system is worth up to 35%. It's broken down into PDF submissions of 10% and the online submissions of 25%. Those 35% are pretty much guaranteed in the sense that if you do the work and you submit it, there is no reason why any student should earn less than 35. Okay. The 10% PDF submission is like credit or no credit. As long as you have done the work and you submit it, you get full credit for it. If there is no submission, you get 0. There is no penalty points that are deducted from there. The online code access and the online homework assignment submissions have no penalty either, except for a late penalty of 5% every single day. Okay. There are multiple attempts for every single question. There are multiple attempts for every assignment with no penalty. You can attempt the questions and the assignments as many times as you want until you get 100%. Again, there is no penalty. You do a work, you try and answer. If it doesn't work, it tells you it's wrong. You redo it, you reach out to me, you reach out to your peers, doesn't really matter. You try it again and again and again until you learn and you get it right. Okay, so there is no reason why any student should get less than 100%. In fact, there is a lot of extra credit that is liberally spread over all homework assignments. So there are videos, there are tutorials. That's a little bit extra for students who want to earn a little bit extra and learn a little bit extra. If you do those extra assignments, if you do those extra problems, you earn extra credit. That extra credit does not have a cap. It is uncapped. So anything you earn will carry over to the entire homework assignment. It will also not be capped at the overall grade level. Anything that you earn in the homework category, anything extra that you earn in the homework category will be applied to your overall grade. So I have students who end up earning more than 100% in the homework. They earn like 104, 105, 106%, sometimes even higher than that. I think maximum you can earn is about 109 or 110%, 110%. That extra 10% that you earn will apply towards your overall grade. Meaning if you lose points on quizzes, if you lose points on the final exam, you can still earn more than 100% on your overall grade. Okay, so there's a lot of extra credit that is available in my classes, and several students do end up with an overall grade that exceeds 100%. This is not like lax grading. This is basically students earning their way to maximum. Okay, so the work is set in front of you. It is up to you to grab it, and the opportunity is set in front of you. It is up to you as an individual student to take hold of it and maximize. All right, these assignments, let's see. Okay, so these assignments are on Pearson's Mastering Engineering website. You may or may not have used them in the past. You do not have to set it up separately. You have to go via Canvas. And so there's Access Pearson link on the left. See this link right here? And so you click on that and you set it up from here. Once you set it up, you should automatically be linked to the Pearson's course. There is a 14-day free trial in case you change your mind and you decide to drop out of this class. You do not have to purchase this code for up to 14 days. Okay, but after 14 days, the code will expire, and then it takes, well, filing a ticket with Pearson's technical support, and students have to go through all sorts of hoops to actually get their account reactivated again. So please decide within the first week, by next Saturday, you will, whether you are staying with the class or whether you're dropping out. Okay. In the meantime, sign up as soon as possible, even as soon as today, because there are 5 homework assignments that are due next week. Okay, there's no time to waste in this class. It goes by very, very quickly. Within the first few weeks, we have to submit up to like 12 homework assignments. And I'll be there every step of the way in every single class. Okay, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So you open this up, and instructors end looks a little different than the students end. But you sign up for the class from here. Do not go outside of Canvas to sign up for the class. It will cause issues because your grades are automatically synced. It might take a few minutes, it might take a few hours, but if you see some points on in Pearson, they will automatically appear in Canvas. Okay, that's the benefit of the integration. All right, any questions so far? Feel free to interrupt me anytime. Okay, even if I'm talking, just raise your hand, just interrupt, and feel free to do so. Okay, that's the access code purchase, assignments and grading. So assignments are split into 3 parts. There's homework category, there's quizzes, and there's exams. There's no other midterms. Okay. Homework all put together is worth up to 35%, 35. Quizzes are all totaled together and weighted at 40%, 40. That's a big chunk of your grade. And then final exam is 25. Student feedback over the past few years has been overwhelmingly positive. They prefer it this way, so that the work is spread out for the entire quarter, and there's no one single item that disproportionately affects your overall grade. Okay. Students cannot earn a good grade, or the other way around, would not have a bad grade for one single assignment or one single quiz, or even just the final exam. It is possible to pass this class just by doing homework and the quizzes. Some students opt not to take the final exam. There is no dropping the final exam. Everything is mandatory. So let me be clear. Every single assignment is mandatory. Nothing is optional. Every single homework, every single quiz, the final exam, everything is mandatory. If you wish to not take the final exam, you earn a 0 on there, meaning your overall grade has dropped from 100% to 75, which is still a passing grade. Meaning if you do all of your homework assignments and you earn the maximum points, 35% and extra credit, meaning you could be over and above. Let's say you get 40%, let's just say. And then you earn another 30% on quizzes, that's 70%. You pass the class. You don't need to take the final if you don't want to. Again, it's not optional. It is mandatory. Optional means students choose not to take it and the instructor drops it from the course grade. Okay. I do not drop anything. Everything is part of the overall grade. But like any assignment, you could choose not to submit it. You could choose not to submit a homework. You could choose not to take one quiz. You could choose not to take the final exam, and you would still be able to pass this class if that is your desire. There are some optional instructor evaluations. I will talk a little bit at the end about those. Quizzes are in person only in this classroom every single Monday, beginning with this coming Monday. This coming Monday, we'll have quiz 0. Quiz 0 does not have any penalty. It is based simply on the syllabus, 3 or 4 questions, 5 minutes long, just to gauge your, reading skills of the syllabus. And more importantly, just to get students used to the format of what we'll be doing every single week from here on out. Okay. So quiz 1 will begin the Monday after next. Quiz 0 is the Monday after this weekend. There is no penalty. If you get something wrong, you will still earn the full 5 points. Okay. So final exam is in person in this classroom. You'll have 5 options to take the final exam. The reason there are 5 options is, well, I'm teaching 4 lecture classes. So I have, my schedule is right here. If you don't know about this website is called schedules.calpoly.edu. It's only accessible from on campus or via VPN off campus. So I'm teaching 4 lecture classes, 201, 115, and 306. Final exams are set by the university's academic calendar schedule by the academic senate way in advance. Okay, so our final exam schedule is already posted. It's already available on the registrar's website. And so based on my 4 lecture classes, I have 4 different exam times. Any of my student in any of my classes are welcome to switch and come into any other exam time as long as space is available. A form will appear on the final exam page. I will update that form as we go along. And it's first come, first serve. So if I have space in the classroom, students can avail of any of the 5 options. So there are 4 options, as I said. EE 201 has a exam which will be on a, I want to say it'll be a Wednesday of finals week from 10 to 1. I have to confirm the date. I have not looked it up yet, but it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay. If it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, it'll be either on a Monday or a Wednesday, Friday, because our time is at 10. Most likely will be a Wednesday, but I have to check and confirm. But timing for sure is between 10 and 1 a.m. in this classroom. So that's the official Cal Poly scheduled time for our class. So you can take the exam at this time. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to submit anything. If you want to take it and any of the other times, then you submit that form and you let me know. The fifth option is the Saturday before finals week in this classroom. Okay. Saturday before finals week. So the last day of class is Friday, the Saturday after the last day of class, right? December 6th. Time will most likely be, I want to say 11 to 1, perhaps. It'll be either 10 to 12 or 11 to 1. But again, that information will be there on the final exam page in just a few weeks. Okay, so you have 5 options. You can look through and submit the form later on. Any questions so far? All right, we are at 10:42, half an hour gone. Attendance, participation, and late work. Attendance is not mandatory. You can come to class if you wish. You cannot come to class if you wish. You can watch it online on Zoom. You cannot attend on Zoom or just watch the recorded videos. Or you can do none of those things and just work, learn from anywhere you want. There are tons of resources out there, and you submit the work, and then that's fine. Okay. Late homework is accepted. There is a slight penalty of 5% that's built into the Pearson mastering system. So there's a due date for every single assignment. But if you're late, if life gets in the way, something happens, then the homework always stays open. You can't submit it late. It is a 5% penalty reduction. You do not need to ask me for an extension. Now, having said that, if you have any accommodations that you require that precludes you, or if you have any medical emergencies, family emergencies, something like that, just provide a note, and then there would not be any penalty. Okay. All right. Late and missed exams are not permitted. Only exception is a legitimate university recognized excuse and absence, which, academic policies are there available on academic programs and planning website. Okay. Let's see. Instructor evaluations. All right. So at the end of the quarter, and I'm assuming you've been here long enough that you've submitted some of these every single quarter. These are very important to us. Perhaps you are aware, perhaps you are not. All instructors do not point this out, but I like to at least make a small note and let students know. At the end of this quarter, when you submit these evaluations, these become part of our official record. It is stored in our personal file, and it is used an evaluation by our peers in the department. It goes all the way up to the dean of the College of Engineering, and then it goes all the way outside of the College of Engineering into our academic personnel files. So it becomes part of our personal record. Be honest in your evaluations. You can write he sucks on there, but give us some feedback on why he sucks so that we can make it. Right? Students in the past have provided constructive criticism, and so we take that, and the students currently benefit from those comments. And so you provide some comments, and so students coming after you benefit that. Okay, that allows us to make continuous improvements in our instruction in our programs. This is a little bit of extra work that we ask students to do. So I like to provide a little bit of extra credit to students. That extra credit is in the amount of 1 full extra credit point applied towards your overall grade. In the amount of the participation rate. There are about 32 students in this classroom. If I have, and these are anonymous, right? So the only thing we see at our end is that 30 of 30 students submitted evaluations. We had 30 responses. So if I have 30 of 30 responses, it's 100% participation rate. Every student in the class receives 1 extra point applied directly to their overall grade. If you're at an 89, you get bumped up to 90. Okay. Make sense? If 15 of 30 students submit a evaluation, that's a response rate of 50%. Every student in the class still receives 0.5 points of extra credit work. There is no way for us to know who submitted and who did not. So whether you participate or don't participate in this response, you still receive the benefit of your peers. Okay, make sense, right? And then once the finals week, once the last week of classes comes around, I'll bring this up again. I'll post it. In addition to official evaluations, I also like to have unofficial evaluations, which is simply a Google form. Again, this is completely anonymous. It's a Google form. It's a link. It's a publicly available form that does not collect any information about you. You could send this to your buddy sitting in Florida and you could fill it out and submit it, but please don't. This has the exact same format and the exact same questions as the official evaluations. You just do click, 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 click. If you want to write a comment, you write a comment, and that's it, and you submit it. And so again, 30 students, 9 weeks, total of 270 responses possible at the end of the quarter. All I do is I take a look at it weekly, and at the end of the quarter, I count the total number of responses, and I tally it up in proportion to 2 extra credit points, again, applied to your overall grade. So at the end of the quarter, if I have 270 or 100% response rate, every student in the class receives 2 extra credit points. If you're at a 90, you get bumped up to 92. All right, so credit is awarded to every student in the class, regardless of participation. It's completely anonymous. Again, as I said, it's a publicly available web form. As long as you can access with the link, you can submit it. I haven't updated the form yet for this quarter, so I'm going to go do that over this weekend. That's on my list of things to do. Accessibility and diversity website is accessible. If you run into any issues somewhere, please let me know so I can rectify it. It is mobile friendly. You can access it on a mobile phone as well as a tablet. Student support and basic needs. How many of you know where the food pantry is located? Some of you, most of you not. So the food pantry is established, by the institution so that students' basic needs are met. There is no judgment over there. There's no that all of my students, or not all of my, several of my students have gone there in the past. I would strongly recommend that you do go there. There are donations that come in every single day. There are stores all around the city and in the county that have food products, packaged foods, fresh produce that are getting close to expiration. And so they cannot sell those and they donate it to the food pantry. If it doesn't get picked up from here, they have to throw it out. So please go there, take a look around. I went there last year or so. They showed me around. They have like, say, okay, inform all your students. Please visit us. All you have to do is you go there, you just swipe your card. They have, I haven't been there recently, so I don't know, but they have coffee, they have tea, they have hot cocoa available. So if you just want to go in there, take a look around, and then visit every single day if you want. Okay. So again, as I said, they are very welcoming and it's established so that students' basic needs are met. So please go and visit the food pantry anytime you want. Other than that, there is a list of resources here. There's an even more comprehensive list at the end. There are several organizations available on campus for support. If you need a support, chances are it is available on campus. Some of these you may be familiar with, some of these you may not, especially Tutoring Center and the Writing and Learning Center, Academic Services. Probably you have used before, but there are several here others that you can reach out to if you need any assistance. Okay. All right, 10 minutes left. Talked long enough. Quiz schedule is already up there. You can take a look at that. It's open book, open notes. Electronic devices for notes are permitted. You can use tablets, you can use laptops, you can use anything you want, except using circuit simulation tools, dial a friend for help, or any AI tools. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself of your own learning. Quizzes are in person. Exams is in person. Typically, I sit at the way back. Right there, that's my spot. I'm channeling my inner Sheldon. All right, no help from anyone, no AI tools, and stop working when the time is up. 5 minutes are provided after work time has ended for you to scan your work, create a PDF, and upload on Canvas. This is for quizzes, the weekly quizzes that we'll do on Monday. Okay. And so you upload the PDF on Canvas. I will bring up the questions on screen. You can also access it from your end on Canvas website. And once the work time is up, I will announce in class, you stop working, you start creating your PDF. You can use a writing tablet, that is fine with me. Or you can use pen and paper, pencil and paper, that is also fine with me. Okay, make sure it is one single PDF file when you submit it. All of the quizzes are already on there and everything is available. All right, class notebook is basically OneNote. I've already set it up. So you simply open it from there. Oh, come on. And then once you log in, it's a class notebook. You open it up. It opens up in a web browser, or if you have Microsoft OneNote installed, you can automatically open it up from there. I'm going to open up the new one. Where did it go? There you go. It take a while for it to sync, but anything that I write here in the notebook automatically appears at your end in like a few seconds. Okay, let's go here. Lecture videos. Week 1 videos already available. Excuse me. So what you're going to do is you are going to, and this is, I should have spent a little bit more time on here. Lecture 1 on this playlist is basically syllabus and a little bit of introduction and then getting into the lecture slides a bit. So there are videos that you will watch every single week, typically on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then you will use videos, you will do that learning outside of class, okay? One benefit of that is you can speed it up. You can speed it up and view the entire video at 1.5 times or even 2 times the speed and finish it and compress it within like 20 or 30 minutes. Then you attempt the homework. Anytime you get stuck with a problem, make a note. Okay, you come to the classroom, you ask me questions, and I'll solve those problems along with you in class. Okay, so in that sense, it is sort of a flipped classroom. How many of you have been in a flipped classroom before? Horror stories? No, it was good. You enjoyed it. All right, you didn't. So it's a mixed bag, especially if the videos are created by someone else, and then if it's like older dated material. In this case, the videos are created by me. They are mine, and they are not that old. Okay, the material is still the same. All my slides and everything is available on the website. You go through it. I just did a summer session based on these exact same videos, and the overwhelming feedback was positive. There were students who were attending completely remotely. They were not even in San Luis Obispo. They were not even in California. Okay, and they still said that they appreciated the way the course was laid out and how they were able to finish up during the summer. Okay, so that's the structure of the class. You view the lecture videos outside at your own time, early morning, late night, anytime you want. You can skip ahead if you want. There are several playlists. There are several playlists below right here. I have playlists dating back to like 2022, dating back like 5 years. Okay, so once you go through this channel is not monetized. Let me assure you, like right now, I've kept it free and open for anyone anywhere in the world so they can access for free. So more views are not making me any money. So if you think like I just posted and making us watch videos, it's not that. Okay, it's not, my channel is not monetized. So there are several playlists dating from last year. If you go into my channel, there are videos dating back like several years on different classes. But I have weekly layouts. And so if you want, you can work at your own pace. You can jump ahead. If you have time some weekend, like so you have extra time, right? Which is a rarity, of course. But if you have extra time and you want to jump ahead, you can go ahead and do so, right? Week 1, you have 4 videos. The first video is pretty much what we covered today, but there is a little bit of lecture at the end. And then register for the Pearson's Mastering Engineering because homework is due. I'll bring up the calendar and I'll show it to you. So one other benefit of the integration is that it shows you the due dates. So actually, let's do this. As I stated earlier, there's 5 homework assignments due next week. And so you need to get started on those. All right. Too many classes. Okay. So that's a lecture meeting. Lecture meeting shows up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's homework 1 on Monday, homework 2 on Tuesday, homework 3 Wednesday, 5 on Thursday. Sorry, 4 on Thursday and 5 on Friday. Right? It is possible to get started early. You don't have to wait. There's a 14-day free trial available. So you have 14 days to decide whether you want to drop this class or not. Okay, I hope you don't. You may have spoken to your peers about my class and my structure. Over the years, I've received overwhelmingly positive feedback, even though students say, even though I had to purchase, spend money in addition, but I got my money's worth and I was able to learn, more important. Okay, so I hope you are able to have the same positive experience. If you have any questions, reach out to me, htrada@calpoly.edu. In the subject line, just have EE201. Don't have anything else in the subject line. Just EE201. It seems like a very small thing, but at my end, it is a very big thing. All right. So I'll bid you adieu and I'll see you all on Monday. Let's get cracking. We'll rush through a little bit on the first month, and then you can relax a little bit over the end. So you have more time for your other classes. If anyone has any questions, I'm around.